Thomas and Friends. Emily's new route. It was summer on the island of Sodor. There was a lot of work for the engines to do, carrying holiday makers and goods up and down the lines. But the engines liked being busy, and the sun was shining in the sky, so everyone was happy, all except for Emily. Emily was working down at the docks with Salty, shunting trucks into the sidings, and she wasn't enjoying it at all. Salty tried to cheer Emily up with one of his stories. "It's about a lighthouse, a box of oranges and a fishing rod," said Salty. "It all started when—" Only Salty seemed to enjoy his stories about the sea, and Emily had soon stopped listening. "Oh, I wish I could do something different," she said. Emily's wish came true the very next morning. "I am opening up some new routes," said the Fat Controller. "Emily, I want you to pull a special going to the flour mill." Emily couldn't wait to tell James and Thomas about her new job. "That's a good job, better than mine," said James. "I have to go to Black Loch. There are big stones on the track that bash my buffers and scratch my lovely red paint." "And he's frightened of the Black Loch monster," added Thomas. "What sort of monster?" asked Emily nervously. "Nobody really knows for certain," said Thomas. "There are black things that appear in the water by the track, dark shapes that come and go." "Nonsense," said James. "It's just a silly story. At least I think so." But Emily was not so sure, and she was very glad she did not have to go to Black Loch. The next morning Emily puffed to the mill and the flour was loaded into her trucks. Then, keen to do a good job on her new route, she quickly chuffed along the tracks to the bakery. But that day the trucks had decided to be naughty. "Hold back! Hold back!" they screeched. They put their brakes on so that Emily had to pull really hard. It made her very slow, and she was so late that there was no flour to make fresh bread that day. The Fat Controller didn't have any toast for breakfast, and he was very cross. "If you're late again, I'll have to send you on the Black Loch run instead of James," he told her. Poor Emily. Black Loch was the very last place she wanted to go. "I mustn't be late, I mustn't be late," she puffed. The next morning the trucks were still playing tricks. Off we go, they giggled. "Mustn't be late, mustn't be late." But the trucks weren't coupled up properly, and when Emily puffed away, she left some of them behind. When Emily realized she had to go all the way back to get them, and still the trucks were being naughty. "Emily's late, Emily's late," they sang. That made Emily cross, very cross. She biffed the trucks so hard that they rolled into the duck pond with a big splash. The flour went into the water and made a sticky, gooey white mess. The trucks were covered in it, and so was Emily. Poor Emily was in even more trouble now. "You have caused confusion and delay," the Fat Controller told her. "James will take your flour run," the Fat Controller continued, "and you must do the Black Loch route." "Oh, no," huffed Emily sadly. "Not Black Loch." The next morning Emily puffed to the station to collect her passengers. They were holiday makers, and she could see that they were really looking forward to their trip. Emily knew she mustn't let them down, so she took a big puff and steamed off. Emily was steaming along beside Black Loch when the water started splishing and splashing, and she suddenly saw dark shapes moving towards the shore. Emily's boiler shivered. She was very scared. "It's the monster!" she wheezed. But it wasn't a monster at all. It was a friendly family of seals who had come to say hello. "Onk, onk," said the seals. Emily liked the seals so much that after work that evening she took Thomas to meet them. "You were right, Thomas," said Emily. "I did like the Black Loch run after all."